Well, good morning and welcome to Overdivest Nurseries. It's a pleasure to have you join us today. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. But if you're somebody who hasn't been to our channel before, let me quickly suggest that you think about joining our subscriber list, because that's where you'll find each time that we post new videos about all the plants that we grow here in our region, that's the Mid-Atlantic and Northeastern states. You'll find that then as we publish those videos, they'll turn up automatically in your feed. And if you haven't come across Overdivest Nurseries yet, let me explain that we're a commercial nursery that ships our plants all over the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic states to our partnering garden centres. So if you're interested in getting some really good, proven, tried and trusted varieties that are going to perform well in this region, then take a look at our locator link, which we'll put here on this video, and then you'll be able to go along to all of those hundreds of partnering garden centres and see some of these beautiful plants, and perhaps even be able to enjoy growing some of these beautiful things in your garden. Now, as you can tell by all of these beautiful panicle hydrangeas that are now at the peak of flowering and looking so beautiful on a fairly warm summer's day, we're right here in the middle of the summertime. And in this video, I wanted to take you back to the early spring when we posted a video talking about pruning shrubs that had attractive foliage and how you can get even more effective display with their colorful leaves. And in one of the segments, I showed you how I was treating a Cotinus royal purple, a smoke tree. And in that, I know one or two of you thought that I was being a little too drastic in pruning it hard back. And I promised that I would come back at some point later on in the season and show you how the plant turned out. Well, today is the day that we're going to do it. 3 months or so later, after the plant was pruned, here's how it turned out. And here it is, shooting up into the sky, setting off the beautiful hardy hibiscus. That's hibiscus starry night if you're interested. But look at how these strong growths have grown up now with all of this luxuriant foliage that looks so effective. And you'll remember how I took these long handled loppers here and coppiced the plant right back, cutting the shoots to about 10 inches or so off the ground. That's what kind of concerns some people. And now the result is, of course, that the plant has made all of these strong, vigorous shoots that, as you see, carries all of this gorgeous foliage. Especially beautiful when it's got the rain from last night still beating on the foliage here and reflecting in the kind of ambient sunlight. This is a very old technique, going back way deep back into history, when they were cutting back woody plants to make long, strong stems for basket work, for wicker fences, and also for thatching pegs and so on. But we use this technique today in our gardens to, as you see, encourage all of the strong, luxuriant growth. Really beautiful, and I hope you can see that by taking that drastic pruning step, it turned out, I think, to be very effective. And just to explain a little bit, this is hardy throughout our region. This is a hardy Zone 4 plant. The variety is Cotinus royal purple. As you see, by cutting it back now, it's already about 6 or 7 foot high, but believe me, this can go even taller than that. It can put on really eye-catching foliage that can stand as much as 10, 12, and perhaps even 15 foot high. So it will make a very nice specimen for putting in, say, the center of a lawn. It's very good at the back of a border where you want to show off other very colorful perennials and dwarf shrubs. And a perfect example of that is how it combines so beautifully with this hardy perennial hibiscus here. The dark foliage of the hibiscus certainly helps to improve the scene, but just look how these big, dramatic, pink with heavily veined flowers stands out so beautifully against the dark purple upright background of the smoke tree. I just love the way this all comes together, and I'm sure you at home can be just as inventive and create perhaps even more effective and very colourful displays. It's a very nice item too to consider perhaps planting around a swimming pool or a sitting out area like a patio or deck, because this, when you prune it back, produces this beautiful screen during the summer months, a time when you're likely to be using those areas. And it's also very important in this area, not normally bothered by deer. I'm not sure that I would say that it's totally deer resistant, because really there isn't all that much. If you get a hungry deer that's starving, it will have a go at almost anything, but normally they leave these smoke bushes behind. And also it's important to point out, as I said in that video, which incidentally is here on this channel, so if you want to find out how to coppice or prune your shrubs so that you get attractive foliage, check that out too, because then you'll be able to see how we started out the start of the year. And as you can imagine, it will make a very nice informal hedge too. Just remember that when you prune it hard back like this, you're stimulating lots of young, fresh, juvenile growth, and therefore you won't get those silky flower heads, which of course is why it's called the smoke tree. So it's your choice really. Do you want to have all of those silky, smoke-like flowers billowing out from the canopy of the plant, or would you prefer to have this sort of foliage effect? So there you are. That's how the coppicing that we did at the early spring season, cutting it back, resulted in all of this strong, vigorous and very effective growth. And this is how our plant turned out. I hope you'll find that interesting and also a little bit reassuring. Sometimes you do have to prune fairly hard to get beautiful results. This is David Wilson. Enjoy your gardening. It's good for us, and it's good for our environment too.